So we have security principles. So principles are the unchanged realities of information security realm, like confidentiality, integrity, availability, access control, non-repudiation. So these are the security principles. Now, then we have security controls. So security controls may have one or two or three or many security principles embedded in it to provide a specific security function, right? So we have security principles and then we have a security control, right? Now, we have something called protection mechanism or protection control. So what is this protection mechanism? So we will discuss protection mechanism in this video, and we'll see that how protection mechanism complement the security principles in a given security control, right? So this hierarchy should be in your mind, that we have security principles. With the principles, we define a control, and with control, we deploy some sort of technique or some policy to safeguard something. And protection mechanism in itself is some way in which it complements the security control, basically, or I can say that's the security principles in general. So let's go to the drawing board and explore what are the different protection mechanism and how it relates. So if you see here, I have just put a drawing, nothing symbolic in this drawing. There's a guy on a trampoline running around with a box. He got nothing to do with protection mechanism, just a drawing. It's just a drawing to give a mental picture so that you can remember that there are four types of protection mechanism we can deploy, either one or many at the same time. So first is layering, which is also called defense in depth. It's about providing security controls in series so that achieving or accessing the information or system is more difficult for any external intruder, right? So if there is an intruder or attacker, if he or she breaches one layer, there is another layer, then there is another layer, then there is another layer, right? Typical example is airport security check, right? So you enter into an airport, there's a boom gate, then you go to the main entrance, there is a security guard or a police officer, then you go for your, with your ticket and you got the boarding pass, and then you go for immigration, and then again a security check. So this is called the serial implementation of security control, and this is basically a protection mechanism in a layered security approach. There is another method which is called the parallel system or parallel control, which is not increased in security. Example is if you go into a shopping mall or a cinema hall. So there are many entry gates which are in parallel. They are because their objective is that the services should be available to most of the user. The confidentiality of the information is not important. Availability is important. So there we go for the parallel approach. Distributed computing system is another example where we have parallel approach. So this is defense in depth and layering. The words which are associated with this protection mechanism are levels, multi-levels, layers, zones, realms, compartments, silos, segmentation, lattice structure, protection ring. When we go into studying about the access control, Biba model and Clark-Wilson model, we will revisit this defense in depth again. Okay, abstraction. We all come from, in a way or another, we have all studied software. And we know that there is a programming called software program, which is called C++. There we are familiar with class, objects, inheritance, and other things. So this is an example of abstraction. What is abstraction? Abstraction is about hiding the complexity of a system and presenting only those controls which are used to operate the system. Just like driving a car, you may not be aware about how the ignition is working, how steering is working, how transmission is working, but you are driving the car. You are presented an abstracted layer which you can control and you can use the system. That's abstraction. Its goal is always efficiency. Abstraction is not used for encryption or other things. So it's mainly used for efficient use of the system. What is data hiding? It's not security through obscurity. Security through obscurity is like, okay, there is something and we wish that no one will discover it. But data hiding is that we are intentionally hiding some data or some part of the data in a database or somewhere so that it's not available to any unauthorized subject. This is precisely what data hiding is. And encryption, we all know, changing the total, the meaning of the data itself so that it's not able to make any sense to any user unless he or she decrypts the message. That's encryption. So in a nutshell, these are the 4 protection mechanisms we all should be aware of. From an exam point of view, it's important, and we should know the difference between these 4 type of protection mechanism. And you can always think on the scenarios where you will use encryption, where you will use layering, where you will use abstraction. So yeah, that's all this video is about, and we will next discuss about the security roles, I think, security roles and responsibilities, and with a quick recap of the security governance. Again, security governance is coming time to time. Actually, in domain 1, it will always come in any topic. We will always go to security governance for some time. That's all about this video. If you like this video, you can always press thumbs up, and if there is a feedback comment, you can comment, or if you have any question, you can also post in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's meet in another video.